Running your own business is awesome. It's the dream, as they say. But it's very stressful as well. Customers, they'll see the front end, the products, the signs, the slogans, the happy owner. But it's the back end of the business that really drives the ship. The inventory management, the sales conversions, order processing and shipping. The business behind the business is the key to business. And for millions of businesses around the world, that business behind the business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. They're home of the #1 checkout on the planet, which is why so many businesses work with them. And Shopify brings the heat with their secret weapon, Shop Pay, which boosts sales conversions by up to 50%. And that means way fewer carts are being abandoned to checkout and way more sales are going. If you want to grow your business, you better be ready to sell anywhere and everywhere your customers are. Scrolling social media, on your website, in your store, and everywhere in between. It's no secret. Businesses that want to grow with Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Heinz and Mattel use. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/RTG, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/RTG to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/RTG. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Remember the Game. It is my retro gaming podcast where every week a buddy of mine and I sit down and we geek out about the games we played back in the day. My name is Adam Blake. Thank you so much for listening to the show. And this week it is episode 325. And I wanted to talk about the PS1 RPG Wild Arms, which I have been teasing for a couple of weeks and grinding through away from the microphone here for the last little while. I just didn't get it done in time. And I really like it. I don't want to have to rush it. I want to see it through. Getting a little frustrated with this fucking forest puzzle thing, but that's not, it's really good. Well, that'll be what we talk about when we come back in March, okay, 100%. Which means I needed a quick game to kind of bridge the gap between now and then. I was also going to do a revisited episode because it is a 325 and that's where we were doing the revisits, but I haven't been feeling the revisiteds lately. I like doing new games more. We will go back to some of the revisited episodes at some point. But usually when I need a quick game to kind of bridge the gap between now and then, and the show needs saving, I turn to the greatest hero that our world has ever known, Mega Man. And this week specifically, it is Mega Man 7 for the SNES. It's no secret around here that I love the Blue Bomber so much. And yes, we will 100% review all 11 Mega Man games in the core series on this show before it is over. Mega Man 7 is the only one from the original series that's on the Super Nintendo. 1 through 6 was the NES, and then 8 was on the PS1 and I think the Saturn. Don't quote me on that. And then 9 and 10 were like modern games, and then 11 is, whatever. So 7 was the one that was on the Super Nintendo, and I think it gets overlooked for a couple of reasons. Number one, after 6 NES Mega Mans, it really is more of the same. Wily's back, beat 8 Robot Masters, use their weapons to beat Wily. It's been done. And B, Mega Man 7 will always be in the shadow of Mega Man X, which is a spin-off of the original Mega Man series. It started on the Super Nintendo and frankly is a better game. For my money, Mega Man X is the best Mega Man game ever created. But I do think 7 deserves more love than it gets. The graphics are really awesome. Some of the Robot Masters are very cool. This was the debut of bass and treble, and you know what? Mega Man 7 shows a lot of love to the history of the series. There's a lot of callbacks and Easter eggs and stuff to previous Mega Man games. We'll get more into how they do that in this review, but it was rad as a fan of the series to see all these callbacks and stuff like that. Mega Man 7 is not perfect. The new bigger pixels come at a cost. The difficulty is kind of all over the map. It splits the Robot Masters into 2 groups of 4, which makes me fucking crazy. But it's a really fun game, though. This will be good. And like I said, this is the debut of bass and treble, so I thought it'd be fitting episode for a guest debut as well. Longtime hot dog, friend of the show, and fellow podcaster Dan from both Dissect That Film and the Manawurm podcast joined me this week. Good dude. He's a fellow Mega Man junkie. And what we thought was going to be a shorter Remember the Game turned out to be a nice hour-long conversation about quite possibly the most underrated Mega Man of all time, Mega Man 7. And we'll get there in just a minute because speaking of being underrated, it is in fact time for another edition of the Remember the Game infamous intro.
Dun, 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 dun.
And if you're new to the show, welcome aboard and consider this your warning. Our intros are a little bit long. They're not that long, they're like half hour. We talk video. They're fun. We talk video games and stuff. It's not just me sitting here, sucking my own dick or anything like that. And they're much easier to get past than Dr. Wily is in this fucking game. So if you do want to skip them, take the little slider thing, move it to about the 30-minute mark. I'm getting pretty good at timing them out around there, and you'll get into Mega Man 7 chat. But I recommend hanging around, giving the intro a shot. Buy me 90 seconds here or so to do my plugs and keep my bills on. You can find all of our merchandise at rememberthegamepodcast.com if you're interested in rocking some of our really dope fly threads. It's very cool. Shout out to my man Joe from 4545 Creative for designing those. And of course, the lifeblood of Remember the Game is, of course, our Patreon. And it's not one of those Patreons where they're like, hey, give me $10 and maybe I'll give you some content whenever I feel like it. We publish up to 4 additional podcasts every week. They don't have ads in them, and you can listen to them for as little as $3 a month. You also get the ability to write into the show, play one, remake one, erase one, all that kind of stuff. You can vote on the games we cover. You get to join our 1,000+ member Discord. You can DM with me, and you even get a shout out and get to hear me mispronounce your name like I'm about to do to most of these people. A huge thank you to our newest Patreons. It's Sir Adsley to you, Daniel Fonseca, butchered that one, KDP, Gilded Jackal, Mr. Brightside, Ken Chalmers, and Dan Bone. I have a friend whose last name is spelt like yours, Dan, and they pronounce it Bone, so I'm going Bone. And if I ruined it, wear it as a badge of honor. Thank you all so much for the support, and welcome to Remember the Game Industries, patreon.com/rememberthegame. And if you want to see more about that, go over there. We have some free bonus episodes you can listen to see how it all works. And then for little as $3 a month, you get access to a whole, literally hundreds and hundreds of episodes in our archives. We donate some of it to charity. And if you sign up for a full year, we'll give you your 12th month on the house. All right? That's enough blowing myself. Let's blow some of you by blowing in some cartridges. It is our opening segment here on the show. I read a few comments and questions from our patrons, usually gaming related, but not always. And we call this segment Blowing in the Cartridge.
He blows all right. He blows big time.
That's it, honey. Get into the spirit.
Let's blow. Our first blower this week is Willie Fistergash. That's a very unfortunate name. Who says, hey, Adam, I have a question unrelated to gaming. You've brought up theme songs from shows, the last 2 Remember the Games. I'm a believer that a good theme song can make or break a TV show. My question is, what are some of your favorite theme songs from shows, and do you have any you're not a fan of? Some of my favorites are Samurai Jack and Animaniacs. I don't know a Samurai Jack. Animaniacs was a good one. The greatest theme song in the history of television is The Raccoons. Run With Us, The Raccoons. I don't know if that was just a Canadian show or if you Yankees and everyone else around the world saw it or not, but if you're looking for a fucking pump-up song at the gym or to make you feel better or maybe something to listen to while you're making love, look up the theme song from The Raccoons. I believe it's called Run With Us. It is I've always said if I owned a sports team, that's the song they would come out to. Like a hockey team, that's what they'd skate onto the ice to. Maybe the greatest theme song in the history of humanity. Darkwing Duck is a great one. DuckTales was a great one. 2012's Ninja Turtles was a fucking bopping theme song. That was the best Turtles theme song by a mile. Samurai Pizza Cats was really good. Man, there's so many. Goosebumps. Shout out to Goosebumps. That was a fucking creepy ass theme song. That song still creeps me out. Also, Unsolved Mysteries also creeps me out. I can't think of one I hate, but those are some of my favorites for sure. We can do a whole episode just on great fucking theme songs. Detective Beans said, I haven't personally played Hollow Knight as of yet, but it's on my radar. Does anyone else find it strange we got one trailer for Silksong and have not seen a single thing for it since then? Does it even exist, or was this some kind of fever dream? At this point, for those of you that don't follow my social medias, my Instagrams, my Twitters, @MemberTheGame if you want to throw me a follow. Usually when there's a new game showcase coming up, a Nintendo Direct or what have you, I'll post the image of Homer sitting on the hood of his car looking up into the sky, and in the sky is the Silksong logo, which is, if you don't know, Silksong is the sequel to Hollow Knight, one of the greatest Metroidvanias ever, and I always post it in the hopes that it'll will it into existence, and it never happens, and I've given up. And I've never given up on hoping on a video game before, but I have given up. I don't post it anymore. I just assume that Silksong is never going to release. Keep in mind, though, I don't even want to. You know what? I'm just going to say, I'm not even going to tease any more rumors. You know what? Listen, do I want Silksong? Yes. Do I want it as much as everybody else? Absolutely. Do I love Hollow Knight? Of course I do. I'm done having my heart broken. I feel like I'm the fucking kid just waiting and waiting and waiting for his dad to pick him up to go for ice cream, and my dad is Silksong, and Silksong just never comes. Okay? I am not going to be Will Smith with his fucking dad walking out on him. That's not fucking happening, all right? I don't fucking need him. And I don't need you, Silk Song. Until you... it's someday it'll show up, and it's going to be magnificent. But I've given up hoping. Turtles Love Pizza said, imagine rental stores are still a thing. It's Friday, and you just finished up your podcasting work for the day. What modern game are you renting for the weekend ahead? That's a good question. So we're going to I'm going to role play here and say I don't have Game Pass and all those services and I don't have every game that I want. And I'm going to rent a game for the weekend. I'm probably going to go with a sports game because a lot of the games today are so long. I would hate to rent fucking, I don't know, Elden Ring or some shit and get 20 hours in over the week. And that's a busy fucking weekend. That's a lot of gaming. And then have to give it back and not even come anywhere close to beating it. So I'm going to say, or actually, no, you know what? No, I'm going to rewind that. Literally. I'm going to say Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Rita's Rewind. Because I really want to play that. And I can't be convinced that it's worth full pop. So I'm waiting on a good sale before I pick it up. I was going to say a sports game because those are the types of ones like I used to always rent I would rent any wrestling game I could find. Didn't even matter. I had No Mercy. I had the best sports or wrestling games at home. I would still rent a wrestling game because I wanted to try a new wrestling game. But this time I'm going to say Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. That's what I'm renting for the weekend. Plus we're picking up pizza and then we're watching TGI Friday. And it's going to be incredible. Oh, fuck. How did I forget that? Well, the greatest theme songs. The Family Matters theme, the official theme song of the Blankies. That's a great theme song, too. Coffee Steve said, I know you're in the middle of Cyberpunk 2077, and I was just wondering if we can expect an expansion pass episode of your take on the game. I'm currently playing it right now, and while it took me some time to get into it, I'm really enjoying my time with it. There's so much to do and find. The gunplay is amazing, and I think the story is really captivating. Love to know your thoughts. You know what, Coffee Steve? I do really want to review Cyberpunk on expansion pass. I put it down months ago when I got busy with something. I don't remember what. And now it's been, it's probably been 6 months since I picked up Cyberpunk. And now I'm nervous that I'm going to do that thing where I'm going to pick it up and not be able to remember the controls and what to do and be lost. And I don't have time to restart it. So I'm not going to sit here and definitively say, yes, you will get an expansion pass on Cyberpunk 2077. But I will promise you all that in my heart, I do want to review Cyberpunk 2077. I was loving it. I don't remember what happened that I got busy and never went back to it. But now I'm trying to finish fucking Stalker so that I could finish Avowed, and then April and May are going to be so fucking busy. But I do at some point have hopes to replay or to finish playing and review Cyberpunk. Because I agreed. I was fucking loving that game. I really like that game. I really do. Nintendo 64 Chalmers said, hey, is there any rhyme or reason behind which classic system you choose a game from for each Remember the Game, or is it totally random? If you feel you haven't done a Genesis game in a while, do you pick from those next? I do try. Obviously, it's been pointed out, and it's true. We do more Nintendo than we do Sega. I was a Nintendo kid growing up. I like Nintendo better. I know my Nintendo. But I have grown to really appreciate the Genesis in particular. So if I haven't done one in quite a while on a system, I will usually try to mix in a game from that console. But to be truthful, outside of stuff like Patreon poll winners and then whoever wins our highest bid on our extra live stream to become a guest on the show and pick a game and stuff, there really isn't a lot of rhyme or reason. I have a list of games that I'm interested in playing, and then I just kind of pick one when I need something to play. So probably not a good answer, but it's factual. And I'm telling you the truth, giving you the truth. Orion Pax said, you may have already answered this before, but did you ever watch Legends of the Hidden Temple? It was on Nickelodeon back in the day. Game show with an ancient Mayan type them? Oh, theme, probably type theme is probably. I did, dude. Is that the one where the kids would go into a video game and go through this temple playing a video game? We didn't have Nickelodeon. We had YTV here in Canada when I was a lad. But yes, I did watch that show. I couldn't remember what it was called, but I think that's what it was. Legends of the Hidden Temple, where they'd fucking go into it was wasn't as good as Video and Arcade Top 10, but it was a good fucking show. Logan Johncheck said, hey Adam, with you seeming to enjoy Black Ops 6, would you consider covering any of the earlier Call of Duties? I think the first Black Ops game is a masterpiece masterclass of a first-person shooter, and a review of the campaign and zombies mode would be potential of content to fill the entire episode. I get asked this quite a bit. So I like to answer it every few months because it is one of the most common questions I get. Now that you're a Call of Dutyer, will you review some Call of Duty? I'm not going to say no. I'm just a little bit gun shy because I'm not going to really review the multiplayer. I don't even know how many of those games I can review the multiplayer in. And I am a little worried that I'll see a spike in downloads from a Call of Duty episode, and then I'll just get review bombed by people that are like, he didn't even talk about the multiplayer, and that was our favorite thing. Like the only way I think I would be able to do it would be to have to say that it's a review of the campaign and or zombies mode only. But maybe I'll ask you this, and this goes out to everybody. Feel free to DM me or whatever don't DM me on social media because I don't check my DMs. But when I post this, feel free to leave a comment or tag me or whatever the fuck. If you're a patron, let me know. For the March Patreon poll, how would you feel about Call of Duties? Would it be a lame Patreon poll to just do a bunch of Call of Duties? Because at this point, people have told me to do Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty Black Ops, the first one, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Like, I don't know which one to do. But if I was going to review one campaign, maybe I'd just open it up to a vote. Would there be any interest in a Patreon poll that was just Call of Duty games? Let me know. I'm more open to it than I ever have been. I'll go that far. And then finally, before we move on, it's letter time. X Maverick X said, hey, Adam, I know it's your job to play video games, which is sick, but do you ever feel like you're addicted to them? I love playing them and find myself playing as often as I can. I don't feel like it's negatively affecting my life, but I guess sometimes I just wish I had more time so I could play games for a few hours and do errands or chores without feeling guilty if I neglect one or the other. Best wishes. Cheers. So long. Goodbye. There was a time before I launched this podcast where I did feel I've never felt like a full-blown addiction to video games like I have. Like the only things I've ever felt like a full-blown addiction to were pop/soda back in like high school. That was all I drank. I didn't drink any water. I was constantly just craving pop, and giving it up was fucking hard. And then as is well known, I'm trying to give up marijuana right now, and as I record this, I am fucking about 72 hours from going this whole month without weed. For the first time since the pandemic, a month without weed, and it feels really good. So that's like the only real addictions I've had. I don't know if I've ever felt like where I get like anxious if I'm not playing video games, but I do feel like I have a dependence on them. Like if I have downtime in my life, I'm almost always reaching for a video game. I don't watch a lot of TV or movies, as you all know. Sometimes I read, but 90% of the time, if I have nothing to do, I'm just by default, I don't even think about like, what do I want to do today? I just pick up a controller and play video games. I don't think it's too bad a thing as long as you're not ignoring like your personal hygiene or your spouse or your kids or whatever the fuck. But make no mistake, video game addiction is real. And if you are blowing some of those things off for video games, don't hesitate to get some help. And obviously, if you're addicted to other things, don't be afraid to get some help for those too. So I don't know if I've ever felt like a full-blown addiction to them, but they're definitely like a security blanket for me. And that's something I'm trying to break with Remember the Game. I still play a lot, but because I play so much during the week now, when I have some downtime in the evenings or on the weekends, I'm trying to, like, I've signed up for hockey, and I'm trying to read more and watch more TV and movies and just do things that aren't video games because it's literally all I do. So anyways, let's keep this ball rolling. Thank you for all the submissions, everybody. Let's switch things up and get to our Smash Hit segment, the official game show of Remember the Game Industries. Play one, remake one, erase one. And a huge thank you to Classic Concentration from the NES for unknowingly providing us with the theme music for the show. The rules are simple. Every week I give our Patreons 3 retro video games. They can play one as it was released, remake one as a modern game, and the third is erased from time forever. And as always, there is no wrong answers, but there is a right one. I'll tell you what it is in a minute. And this week, since we're talking a Super Nintendo Capcom game with Mega Man 7, I went with 3 more Capcom Super Nintendo games, and that is Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and Breath of Fire 2. And this was actually a little bit closer than I thought it was going to be, but 39% said that they would play Street Fighter, remake Ghouls and Ghosts, and erase Breath of Fire 2. So let's see what a few of you had to say here, and then I'll tell you what the right answer was. Majora6978 said, here we go. Play Super Ghouls and Ghosts. It's always a good time, even though it's hard as nails, but what a feeling it is when you do beat it. I'm going to remake Breath of Fire 2. That's what it was, right? It just says BF2, and I always want to go to Battlefield. Yeah. Breath of Fire 2. I just love this game so much. A remake with better translation and the graphic style of the recent Dragon Quest 3 remake, and that would leave Street Fighter 2 to erase. We had a beautiful life together, but there are so many more Street Fighter games to play in its deletion. And I was shocked at the number of people that said they would erase Street Fighter 2, but the common thread was there are so many other Street Fighter games. And I don't know a lot about Street Fighter, so I do agree with you. But I'm also like, is this not the Holy Grail? Street Fighter 2 Turbo? Like, isn't this like Street Fighter Super Mario World? This is the one you're going to erase. That's crazy. Smith said, play Breath of Fire 2. It's a great early action RPG, action-adventure RPG that has a lot of personality. Remake Super Ghouls and Ghosts. It'd be really cool to see this one get an update to a modern 2D platformer, and then erase Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I know people loved this one in the arcade prior to the release of Super Street Fighter, but it was redundant and so unnecessary. Only a couple lunatics turn to speed up the fighting game and think that it's more fun. Fair enough. I'm learning something about the Street Fighter community today, I'll tell you. Phoenix Wrong said, play Street Fighter even though I suck at it. Remake Super Ghouls and Ghosts because I think a gameplay brush up, a difficulty setting, and a simple checkpoint option would make it more accessible to the not good gamers like me. And then erase Breath of Fire because of pure blissful ignorance to what it's even about. What's clearly about someone that breathes fire, Phoenix. Jesus Christ. Super Jess said, it's been a while since I contributed my valueless opinion, but here we go. Play Breath of Fire 2 because it captures that SNES JRPG charm perfectly and it shouldn't be fucked with. Remake Ghouls and Ghosts because I'm erasing Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And then erase Turbo because 1, Mortal Kombat is way better, and 2, there's a million other Street Fighters, so who gives a shit? You know, I don't even know if that's a hot take, but I will say, because Mortal Kombat 2 is the one I owned growing up, I also prefer Mortal Kombat. I don't know. And Hombre de Queso said, play Super Ghouls and Ghosts. They just made a new one of these, and it isn't any easier, so might as well keep this one as it is. Remake Breath of Fire. I love this game growing up and used to leave my SNES on all day with a piece of tape over the power light so my mom wouldn't lose it over the power bill. I love an excuse to go back to it. And erase Street Fighter. This is the best version of Street Fighter 2, but I still have 11 other versions to play. I guess that explains why so many of you erased it, because I was really shocked by the number of people that erased Street Fighter 2. I have to say, I'm going with the smallest sliver of the pie that I've ever sided with. 1% of the voters voted the way I did this week, as did Dund, who said, play Breath of Fire 2. I haven't played it before and I want to give it a chance. Remake Street Fighter 2 because the industry has decided remaking this game is mandatory and constant. And by process of elimination, erase Super Ghouls and Ghosts. While fun, it's something I've played and it's not a particular favorite, so I'm willing to let it go. Not the same reasoning, but I do have the same logic. I am going to play Breath of Fire 2 because, as you said, I've never played it. It's the only one of these I haven't played. I feel like I need to give it a chance. I'm going to play Breath of Fire 2. I wasn't sure what to do with the remake. I considered remaking Super Ghouls and Ghosts, like so many of you already did, but there is the Super Ghouls and Ghosts Resurrection or Resurrected or whatever, which is the modern Ghouls and Ghosts game, which I bought like a year ago and haven't turned on yet because I suck. So I was like, we got that. So I'm going to remake Street Fighter 2. And truth be told, I have no idea what I'm even going to do with it. But if it was good, it would probably print money. And if I own the game, I want to make money. So I'm going to straight up just milk the fans and somehow remake Street Fighter 2 to get more money out of you. And then I'm going to erase Super Ghouls and Ghosts because while I'm ashamed to admit it, I adore this game. Go back and listen to the episode about it. I adore that game. But it is a very rare retro title that despite my obsession and absolute best efforts, I cannot beat. I can beat the first playthrough and I can get to the end of the second playthrough. But because you have to beat it twice. And the second time you beat it, you have to use this crappy fairy knife fucking weapon thing. And I can't beat the boss of level 7 with that fairy weapon without cheesing save states. If I get past them, I can beat the final boss, no problem. But I tore my fucking hair out trying to beat the last level on my second playthrough of this game, and it beat me, and I finally conceded defeat and gave up. So I'm gonna erase it just so that that's not a blip on my fucking radar anymore. It's not a stain on my record anymore. I love you, but you're too hard. Super. That's what she said. Thanks everyone for playing along. As always, what have I been playing over the last week? Almost the same as the week before. Mostly Stalker 2 and Wild Arms. I'm getting close to beating Wild Arms. Stalker 2 never fucking ends. I played about an hour of Avowed. Seems awesome, but I couldn't play it in Stalker 2 at the same time, so I'm shelving Avowed till I'm done Stalker 2. Then I'm going to play that. And then when I'm done with Wild Arms, I'll be all in on XCOM 2. I've been playing a little bit of it, but I'll be all in on XCOM 2 to get ready for an upcoming episode of the show as well. All right, that's what I've been playing. That's what we're talking about. That's all that. Here's what we're going to do. I need a drink of water. So let's pause here. We'll let a sponsor in. They will do their thing. And when we get back, it's all about Mega Man 7. We will be right back after this. This is an ad by BetterHelp. A band once said, "Work sucks, I know. And I think most people agree with them. Workplace stress is now one of the top causes of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce experiencing higher than normal levels of stress from their jobs. And while walking away from your job might not be an option, taking a little time every day to focus on yourself and your mental health can make a huge difference. I know in the summer I try to get outside every day, get a little bit of sun, and just enjoy the outdoors. It really helps. At least until my allergies attack, and then it's ugly. It's important to take steps to combat work stress, and therapy can be a huge one. It's not just for overcoming trauma. Therapy can help you define work goals, set some work boundaries, develop coping skills. It's like a cheat code for life. And if you're thinking, man, I'm too busy for therapy, well, look into BetterHelp. They make therapy as convenient as possible. You can meet with one of their over 30,000 therapists online and on your schedule, just like over 5 million people around the world already have done. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/rememberthegame. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/rememberthegame. We've had some great partners over the years here at Remember the Game, but I don't know if any of them have hit home for me quite like Hometown Hero does. No pun intended. Don't start. It's a transparent, honest cannabis company that helps people and gives back to those that have served their country at the same time. I mean, come on. As soon as I read about these guys, I knew I wanted to work with them. Hometown Hero is a cannabis company out of Austin, Texas, and they were founded back in 2015 by a U.S. veteran. They have two goals: create premium hemp products that can help everyone, and to support veterans by donating a portion of those profits to organizations set up to take care of those who have served. Hometown Hero products are of the highest quality, and everything they offer is made right there in the U.S. of A. Gummies, caramels, chocolates, drink mix. There's something for everyone. And what's more, their hemp is grown locally in Texas, which is something they should and do take a lot of pride in. And they offer certificates of analysis for everything they sell because they want to be clear that their products are as advertised, both in terms of potency and ingredients. No contaminants, you get what you pay for. Just how they conduct business is enough to get my good eyes' attention, but when you circle back to the fact that the company was founded by a veteran and they put such heavy emphasis on supporting veterans, this isn't just lip service. I'm not reading a script I was given here. I'm proud to have Hometown Hero associated with Remember the Game. Reclaim your evening. Visit hometownhero.com and use code RTG to take 20% off your first purchase. That's hometownhero.com, code RTG for 20% off your first purchase. All right, let's get into Mega Man 7. That's why you're here. As always, I like to let the Patreon sound off on the game we're covering before my guest and I hog the microphone. We had a lot of comments this week, and I'm going to read some of them, as I'm contractually obligated to do. So let's see what some of you think of this game. A Waluigi to the Past said, I just played this for the first time, and I enjoyed it. It obviously isn't Mega Man X, which is its problem, but it does a good job of making the classic Mega Man formula good again after getting kind of stale with 5 and 6. Fuck that final Wily fight, though. Buddy. Yes, that we get into it on the show, but that final Wily fight, the first phase, not bad. That second phase will fucking wreck you. Fucking Wily. Son of a bitch. Rob Serino said, I'm just really mad I sold my copy of this. I had it complete in box, and it's currently price charting at $900. Yeah, it's. I always say it, never sell your, listen, if you need to sell your games to eat, do it. If you need to sell your games because you want to take the family on a trip or something like that, go nuts. But if you're just selling your video games and your classic video game collection because you're like, they're taking up space and I don't really play them, do not sell that, okay? I'm telling you, because you will not be able to buy it back for the price you sell it at. I sold mine years ago, and I regret it on the daily. Do not sell it. And I agree on the price on this one. It's fucking wild. I would love to get a physical copy of this for my Super Nintendo collection, but I'm not paying what they're asking. It's not happening. Ravishing Rick said, I first saw this game when a friend in college was playing it, but it was the Japanese version. I was like, how do you know what to do? And he's like, it's Mega Man. Beat the Robot Masters and Wily. What's there to figure out? I tried, but obviously preferred the translated version, especially to know what I was buying from the shop. I know I may be weird, but grinding to buy stuff never really bothered me. I loved using Rush to dig for secret items. Turbo Man looked awesome for me, and I'm not sure if you knew this, Adam, but a great Easter egg in Shade Man stage was you could change the song to Super Ghouls and Ghosts by holding B at the stage select screen, which honestly felt perfect for that stage. Try it if you haven't. I did not know that until Dan told me on the episode that we recorded that you're about to hear, and my mind was blown. I thought I knew everything about this game. I did not know that. Blew me away. Turbo Man is awesome. I agree with that. Flater Flav Said, like many others who played Mega Man 7, I didn't like it at first. The shift in art style and gameplay from 1 through 6 was such a drastic change that I struggled to adjust. But after pushing through just 2 Robot Masters, something clicked. I found myself loving it just as much as the others. It's an incredible Mega Man game, and I appreciate it more with each playthrough. My only real gripe is the price. Finding an original copy for my collection is ridiculously expensive. I always love seeing Mega Man content get covered. In fact, the franchise is what led me to discover your show in the first place. Keep up the great work, and here's to even more Mega Man discussions in the future. Fuck yeah. I know that. Thank you for listening. I know some of you, there's a very vocal minority out there that are like, you talk too much Mega Man. It ain't going to change. I love Mega Man, and every game that he's done is getting an episode eventually. Least of the Core 11. Mega Man Soccer, we'll see, but Core 11 is. And Matt Locke, I gotcha, said, decent enough game, but a big drop-off in quality from the original series. Not being able to choose from all 8 Robot Masters from the outset makes finding the weakness pattern too easy. Agreed. You're less inclined to experiment with the special weapons, and most of the weapons are forgettable, but the Junk Shield is easily a top 5 all-time Mega Man weapon. I also feel like your sprite is too big, which makes some of the platforming feel just a hair off. Good game by any means, but a below-average Mega Man. Still better than 8, though. I agree with almost everything you just said. I could take or leave Junkman Shield, but you're about to hear it. I agree with almost everything you just said. Let's get into Mega Man 7. That's why you guys are here. I'm excited to talk about it. Dan's excited to talk about it. We've already talked about it. Now you get to hear us talk, all right? I am going to cue up some music. And when it stops, my boy Dan and I are going to take a look back at Mega Man 7, which originally released on the Super Nintendo in North America in September of 1995. 30 fucking years ago. God, we're old. Wow. Enjoy the podcast, everybody. Let's go. All right, joining me via the blank phone this week to talk a little bit of Mega Man. As you all know, some of you are going to write in and say we talk too much Mega Man. I don't give a fuck. I love Mega Man. And joining me this week is another person that loves Mega Man. It's someone I've been meaning to get on the show to talk Mega Man for quite a while, and that is my boy Dan from Dissect That Film. We got some podcast streams crossing here. Dan, what's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing great, brother. Just hanging out. Glad to talk Mega Man, and fuck those posers that don't like Mega Man.
Yeah, fuck them. Can I listen? It's your show debut. You are like an OG hot dog. You're a longtime friend of the show. This should have happened a long time ago. I have to put you on the spot to start. No wrong answer here. What is your favorite Mega Man game?
Just core Mega Man?
Yeah, we'll go overall and core. I'm curious.
Okay, 4. Mega Man 4 by a landslide. I have a lot of memories attached to it. Mega Buster, first entry for that. Love it.
All right, that's like, because I have no ill will toward 4. I do prefer my Mega Mans without the Mega Buster, but I did recently play through all 6 of them, like back to back to back over like 3 days. And 4 hit harder than I remember it. Like 4 is a good fucking game. I'm always going to prefer just the pea shooter because I feel like you spend too much time focusing on charging up the Mega Buster when you have it. But at the same time, I think 4 does a good job of designing itself around the Mega Buster. Like, that's a tough one to play without using it, you know?
Yes, and it felt like 4 was such a, I know we're not talking about it today, but 4 was kind of a shift in it because the robot designs just seemed a little bit different, the Robot Master designs, and even the overall music. I think they used like a different, people wrote the music for that game because it just feels and sounds different.
Yeah.
To the prior 3.
I agree. And like, yeah, make no mistake. Like, I mean, first of all, it's a Mega Man episode. Anything Mega Man goes in here. And second of all, I love all the Mega Man. Mega Man 8 is the Mega Man 8. We'll get there. Mega Man 8 is Mega Man 8, but I love all the other Mega Mans. I will say of the core series, if you go 1 through 10, if we remove 11, the reason I decided to go with Mega Man 7 was twofold. One, I needed a short game to help bridge the gap while I finish Wild Arms. And 2, I have always felt that this is among the most underrated of all of Mega Man's games because it was the first one on the Super Nintendo after 6 straight NES games. And I know some people complain that like it's just the same old shit and everything like that. But I think its biggest problem is that it's in the shadow of Mega Man X, which is, I think, the greatest Mega Man game ever made. But I think Mega Man 7 deserves some love. This really is like the 8-bit NES Mega Mans in 16-bit graphics. And I love that for just about every franchise. Like, I don't understand why this game gets its hate. I think this is a good fucking game.
I don't get it either. And I think you're right. I think it was the whole Mega Man X conundrum because I know this was post 1. Did this come out before or after X2?
I
I
think before, but don't quote
Okay.
me on that.
I can't remember either because my timeline in my head isn't correct. But no, I think that's it. And this has its own charms and stuff. But like wanting something different, and I know we have the ability of like hindsight
Sure.
hindsight for this. That what's wrong with there being more of the same? Like I don't mind little tweaks in there, but this is why we play these games. You've literally had 6 games, 7 if you count X, kind of that are like essentially the same thing.
Sure. Well, and it's funny because like every year the best-selling games on the charts are Call of Duty and Madden, and they're the same fucking game every year. Like
Yep.
we all buy them. I buy wrestling games every year. I usually buy at least one sports game every year. I get it, but I'm like I want the same in Mega Man. I every time a new Mega Man game comes out, I'm like I'm excited to see about the 8 new Robot Masters and the 8 new weapons, and I'm like just rinse and repeat, and I will keep fucking buying these. But with most NES franchises, I got super like I love the way Mario transitioned into 16-bit. Same with Zelda, same with Metroid, like Castlevania, all these great NES franchises to see the way I don't love Contra 3, but most people do. It's fun to see the way that these NES games look in the more futuristic 16-bit graphics. And I was like, so why would we not feel that way about Mega Man? And the only major thing I can think of, I don't think it gets as much shade for it being the rinse repeat Mega Man formula. I think its problem is Mega Man X, which
Yep.
let's put our cards like Mega Man X is a superior game to Mega Man 7.
Oh God, yes.
Like Mega Man X is magnificent. But I'm glad that they didn't kill Mega Man off with like because they could have just gone to Mega Man X and been like that's the Mega Man series now. And I'm glad that we got 7 and they kept the franchise around.
Is that not did you not just assume that when you were younger? Like, okay, Mega Man X is out. I guess fuck Mega Man. There's no more of this.
My first thought when I saw Mega Man X in a magazine was that it was Mega Man 10. And I was
Yep.
like, how the fuck did I miss 3 Mega Man games? Like that was my first thought.
Same. I was like, okay, it's either that or we're just like, that's what I would think too, because I play these games all the time. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that said, though, like this one's fine. They definitely like when you compare OG Mega Man to Mega Man X. Like Mega Man X is so much more. Did you? I can't help myself. Did you ever see Turtles Forever? That crossover cartoon where they had the '87 Turtles and the '03 Turtles.
No,
Like
I
me?
never did. No.
It was pretty dope, but the '87 Turtles look like these bumbling, cowardly buffoons compared to like the more mature looking, badass 2003 Ninja Turtles. And to an extent, that is Mega Man to Mega Man X.
Yep.
Like Mega Man's this little wiener with his like every time he jumps, his mouth's open, and he's you know what I mean. Like it's Mega Man. He's got his dog.
Yeah.
Whereas Mega Man X is just like I'm here to kick ass and chew gum, and I'm all out of gum. Like he's fucking badass. And they one thing that I really like about Mega Man 7 is that they were able to upgrade Mega Man from the NES to 16-bit graphics, but didn't make it look like Mega Man X. For better and for worse. It's got a more juvenile, cartoony look to it than X.
Yeah, but
like
the sprite. Oh, I was gonna say, I think the sprites, like they did a great job with the sprites, like you said, that bubbly, bright look, where X was kind of more grim. Like it had the detail, but it just seemed like, of course, edgier because that's what they were going for. But like the sprites are, I think a lot of the sprite works better in this than any of the Mega Man X games on the Super Nintendo. The fluidity and everything.
I agree. Yeah, it's a catch-22 because I agree with you. I do think the sprite work, like the pixel art and stuff in Mega Man 7 is superior to Mega Man X. But the one qualm I have with that, and replaying it the last few days to get ready for this, it came back to me like it always does. It kind of feels like the Game Boy games in the sense of like they're a little. I wish they were about 20% smaller, and I think if they were, you wouldn't have quite as much detail. But at times, it's all like. If you have Mega Man and say 2 enemies on the screen, like the screen is full.
Oh, yeah.
Like it feels like it's zoomed in almost. Do you know what I mean?
Well, dude, we got some. I mean, there's some bad slowdown too. I'm like, I know the Super Nintendos, especially some of the Mega Man games, have some slowdown issues. I encountered some really bad slowdown in the later parts of this game.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. Like the sprites, they look cool because they're big. Because I like that in some other Capcom games, but it's just it doesn't. I think they agree. It should have been smaller, like you said.
Yeah. It usually when I talk about that, like everyone that listens to the show with any regularity knows, like, I'm in awe of Sega Genesis games. Like, I may love my Super Nintendo and like it better, but I look at like Sonic the Hedgehog games and I'm like, these are fucking stunning. Mega Man 7, it definitely has a lot of similar. Did you ever play the Wily Wars? Or you ever seen that? The remakes of 1, 2, and 3 on the Genesis in 16-bit?
I was literally going to ask you that same question. I have at one point in my past, but it was an old emulator and it didn't have you couldn't save it properly. So you could access like the hidden 3 Robot Masters after you beat the 3 games and the Wily Tower stage. However, for better or worse, that one company, Limited Run Games, I know some people hate them because they're kind of crappy. So, but they did that licensed physical release of Mega Man Wily Wars.
Yes.
And I have that cartridge upstairs. I've never opened it. I've had it for years and I refuse to open it.
I've played them. I played them on my Genesis Classic. That was the first time I'd seen them or played them. And I don't love the way they play. I think the Genesis controller works great for looser games like Sonic. I do find it difficult to play games like Mega Man with it. Like, I just don't find the D-pad and stuff as tight as I do like a Nintendo or a Super Nintendo D-pad. But I love the way the Wily War games look like and look with that 16-bit art style. And that's what this looks like. Like, at a glance, I would guess this was a Sega Genesis game. And I mean that as a compliment because it's got that bright Sunday morning cartoon look to it.
Well, the big difference will also be it actually sounds good.
Oh, it sounds
I'm
really
not a big
good.
no offense. There's some really great Sega soundtracks out there, but that Sega sound card kills me. It's so tinny at times.
Yeah, it can be very hit and miss. Yeah, I agree with that. And the soundtrack to Mega Man 7 is like, I mean, you can count on one hand the number of Mega Man games with bad soundtracks, but Mega Man 7 sounds fucking dope. And I really do love that art style. I just, like I say, I wish it was, I don't know. I don't know if I feel like I'm talking at both sides of my mouth because if it was 20% smaller, it would probably look like Mega Man X. And I want it to keep the look it does. It's just, and most of the time it's not a problem. It's just everyone said, particularly like when you're in Turbo Man stage, there's the part where you need to jump and the tires are coming along the ceiling at you. Yep. And that's one of those areas where I'm like, this is difficult because you're so squished in.
I think it's a resolution issue. Like if it had a higher resolution, like Mega Man 8, it probably would have been fine.
Agreed. Yeah, I think you're probably right. But I think the graphics work awesome most of the time. I particularly, and obviously we're going to get into the Robot Masters, but I think that's where I think the graphics work the absolute best in this game is when you're in the Robot Master fights. Like they look so much, because the problem with the NES Mega Man games are as fun as they are, even like Gutsman, who's supposed to be massive compared to you, really isn't that much bigger than you. And then when you get to Mega Man X and you go up against somebody like Flame Mammoth, who towers over X, and you really get that size of that scale thing. And you get that in this. Some of the bosses you go up against this are so much bigger than you. And they're so much more detailed. Their attacks are so much more detailed to them. And I love that when you hit them with their weakness in this one, it's like X where they react differently because it is their weakness. And they're able to do so much more with those blown up sprites. And it really pays off. These are among my favorite Robot Masters in the series because they just look so good. Yeah. Okay. Just because they look so like Turbo Man in particular, I think Turbo Man's fucking awesome. Like a guy that turns into a fucking race car and fucking rips at you. And like I love the Robot Masters in this game. My only problem with the Robot Masters in this is that they do that fucking thing where they split them into 4 and 4.
Oh yes.
Why, Dan? Why?
Listen, I don't understand why they started doing this with 7 if they were trying to like differentiate themselves. The only caveat to this happening in this game is the museum stage.
Oh,
that's like 2 screens long, but the music kicks ass.
It's so yeah. Like when you play it, you fight the first 4 Robot Masters, and then like I think, and I may be wrong, I never played Mega Man games for the fucking story, but I think the story here is that Wily's caught after 6, and then the first 4 Robot Masters were programmed to activate if they didn't hear from Wily in 6 months or something.
Sounds
and so then
right.
they fire up to go looking for him. And you are right. Once you beat the first 4, then like Wily goes to like a robot museum and breaks out these new and then we get 4 more. I just wish that we got all 8 at once, but it doesn't matter. The part where you go,
Gutsman,
dude, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. When you go to that fucking museum, you can see like Pharaoh Man is in the background and Skull Man is in the background, and you can see these like giant 16-bit versions of some of these great robot masters in glass, like at this museum, fucking locked up. And that is like my only complaint there is that I wish you got to fight a couple of them.
Yes.
But it was still fucking sick. I forgot that was part of this game. And seeing them in the background made me so happy. I was like, we need more Mega Man games to fucking pay attention to Mega Man lore and give us some more stuff like this. I love that part. But now let me ask you this. If they made all 8 Robot Masters available at once, and then say after 4, Wily went to the museum for some reason, you could have still fought any 4 of them, then done a quick middle stage where you had to go to the museum for some reason and got that.
Yeah,
anyway.
because
Like-
they did that. Didn't they do that in 8? Or are they not all available at 8 either? I thought there was like you do the Robot Masters and there's like the mandatory, like you have to go.
You're
here.
right. No, you are right. It is, yeah, because it's you don't even have like the classic title screen, I don't think, in 8. It's like the world, and you pick like the spots. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't played 8 in quite a while.
Yeah,
But-
they do that in they do that in X4. Actually, Mega Man X4. Once you beat 4 of the Mavericks, there's a mandatory stage you have to go to after beating 4.
And like, I have no problem with forcing me to play a stage midway through the game. Like, that doesn't bother me. What irritates me is when we like the whole, like, one of the coolest things about Mega Man is, in my opinion, is when you fire it up and you get that Master Select screen with his face in the middle and the 8 around him.
Yep.
And it's up to you to pick whatever order you want and try to solve this, like you said, rock, paper, scissors puzzle of who's weak to what. And when you split it into 4 and 4, it really removes some of that mystique, because you know that instead of going into a Robot Master being like, I have a 1 in 7 chance of having its weakness, it's 1 in 3. Because you know the first 4 are going to be weak to each other and the second 4 are going to be weak to each other. And I when you know you're going to drop all 8 in anyways, it really turns, like, I love Mega Man 5 on the Game Boy, but it does the same thing. You do 4 and 4, and it really turns me off when it's not all 8 at once. It's my biggest criticism of this game is that the 4 and 4 thing.
Gives you that old Mega Man limp dick, huh?
Yeah, because it's just, I want to solve the puzzle. I enjoy that. Sometimes there's more logic to it than others. Like, sometimes you're like, oh, the fucking ice robot is weak to something that melts ice. Like, that makes sense. Other times there's no logic to it, and that's fine too. But I love the mystery of it, and I find it, especially, I'm not trying to get mad because I love Mega Man 7, but especially because you start the game off and there's the first 4 Robot Masters, one above, one below, one left, one right. Then once you beat them, the other 4 Robot Masters just drop into place into the 4 corners and give you the 8 Robot Master screen anyways. So I was like, you were going to do this. Just give it to me out of the... I know there's a storyline to it, but it pisses me off.
No, it makes perfect sense. I agree with you 100%. They should have just done what you said. There should have been the 4 mandatory middle stage. He steals Guts Man. You still get the cool museum thing, and then you could just fight 4 more.
Yes. Drives me crazy.
Because even the bosses have dual weaknesses. It's like 3. Like, that was the thing that pissed me off the most about Mega Man 3. That is one of the few Mega Man games of the original series. I can't remember the boss order because multiple bosses are weak to multiple weapons, and it throws me off.
Yeah. Although I kind of, I don't know. I guess it depends on my mood. If I want a tough game, then I'm like, make each master weak against one thing, and other than that, make them all your pea shooter. But then some days I'm in the mood to get a little frisky with my boss order, and I'm like, it's nice that I don't have to go 8. So it depends on my mood. But I do agree. I don't want too many weaknesses. Like, give me one. Give me one. If I had to put a gun in my head, give me one.
Like, if we get to the Wily Castle and you want to have like a sub weakness, great, because it doesn't matter then. You've already got them all beat.
Yeah. Like, oh, buddy, and fuck, we're gonna get to the fucking Wily Castle in this game because holy fuck. So okay, so basically, like, the game starts, Wily's out of prison again, and you got to go stop him, and blah 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 blah. Mega Man's got Rush. This is also the introduction of bass and treble, and I like bass and treble. Like, they show up, and at first they're making it seem like they're on your side and they want to go get Wily, but then later on in the game, it turns out they attack you and blah, blah, blah. I maybe unpopular take. I could live without them. I like them, but if you told me it would just be Proto Man again, I'd be fine. I prefer Proto Man. Where are you? Bass and treble, like, yeah. Where are you? Like, yeah. Where are you? I'm trying to pick my words lightly because I know they have fans, but I could live without them. They're fine. Where are you on these two?
I actually I like bass and treble a good bit. I don't like their later Mega Man X, his later Mega Man X counterpart, because that was a fucking sellout. But no, I don't. I mind. I like them. I don't like. They're not like, I'm like hardcore fans, but I enjoy them. I do. I like that they're a bit more proactive than say Proto Man, who just like shows up to look cool for 5 seconds and then just like dips out because he's got to get
Agreed.
more cigarettes or something.
Agreed.
But no, it's just but yeah, I don't mind them, but I can see why people don't like them.
See, but like, and that's like, so that's what bothers me because I love Proto Man, and I love the whole concept of this like mysterious, got a little bit of anti-hero to him. He's cool, too cool for school. I like it, but like, you're right. He always shows up. He's around for like 30 seconds. He whistles. Sometimes he jumps around and shoots at you, and then he's gone. This was finally a chance where we could have given him like, let him shine, and instead they were like, no, you still don't do very much, and here's his other guy. And I love the design of bass and treble. They look awesome. And I particularly like the part once you beat the 8 robot masters where bass and treble, because after you beat 4 of the masters, then you find bass and treble and they go back to the lab and Wily's going to patch them up to help you and Rush fight Wily. And then after you beat all 8, then you go back to the lab and the lab's destroyed and bass and treble went berserk and stole. I love that Wily's like, they stole the upgrades that I had for you and Rush. And I was like, that's cool. Because he has a fucking animal sidekick. They stole the upgrades. That's all well and good. It just bothers me that like we finally had a chance to let Proto Man fucking play a role, and instead it's like you still do nothing. Here's a new character, and he'll take all of the. That's where I my Proto Man bias is why I don't like him. That's all it is.
I like how they included Proto Man in this game, but he's just fucking buried. It's so good.
I know. Like, okay, because that's one of the things I like about this game is that there's some secrets in this one. Like, if you can collect all the Rush letters, then you get dude, actually great callback. If you can find the RUSH, make it spell Rush. If you can find the letters in 4 levels, then you get some of the Mega Man 6 power-ups that you can use in this one. Like where you can use the jetpack and the mega arm. I find the mega arm pretty useless. I do love the jetpack, but I like that they're acknowledging the previous robot masters in the museum. The fact that you can take the power-ups you had from Mega Man 6 and use them in Mega Man 7 if you go looking for them. I fucking love that shit. Like, Mega Man games very rarely pay a lot of attention to the previous ones outside of a couple of robot masters occasionally popping up. So I like seeing that kind of continuity, if that makes sense, because it's
it's very loose. I agree with you. It's almost like there's little to no connectivity, but it's nice when they recall. It's even Beat shows up, even though he does dick all in this game, but he is there.
Yeah, that's it. I like that. And dude, I don't know if you knew this or not. Because I always forget how to do it, and then I finally looked it up for this playthrough just because I wanted to get everything. I totally forgot you can get Proto Man Shield.
Yep.
And so you have to find him a couple of times, and he'll show up and give you these stupid generic hints. And then if you find him a couple of times, then you go find him in Shade Man. You have the classic Shade Man's level. You have the classic fight against him where he just jumps back and forth shooting his fucking blaster. But if you beat him, then he gives you his shield and takes off. And then you can select to use Proto Man Shield, and it's actually like slung on your back. And when you're not moving, Mega Man stands there and holds the shield out in front of him. And it blocks almost everything that's a projectile coming at you. It's fucking awesome. And I'm like, then just let me play as fucking Proto Man. God damn it. But
I am glad you had better luck with that, because I did the same thing with you. I remember the shield growing up. I knew there was a way to get it. I know about the super adapter and some of the things you could buy from the store.
Yeah.
But like I was like, all right, I'm gonna get everything on this playthrough. So I got the shield, and then like I did dick all with it. Like, I mean, I every time I used it, I must have done it wrong because it didn't block shit for me.
Oh,
but I still used it anyway. And then by the time I had it, was Wily stages, and I ended up using the super adapter.
Yeah, I used the super adapter more than I did the shield in Wily's castle. Cause fuck that fucking castle will fuck you up. I forgot about it. You mentioned it too. I think this is the first of the core Mega Man games to introduce this story. I don't remember it being in any of the first 6.
It is, yeah. Unless it was in one of the Game Boy ones, but it wasn't in the first 6 games.
Yeah, and I really like that. Instead of having to like go back through levels and grind for E-tanks and stuff, you collect bolts as you play, and then whenever you're on the title screen, you can hit select and then go to like this store and spend it on. You can buy lives, you can buy E-tanks, you can buy weapon tanks, you can buy the super tank. I I didn't really think about it till I was replaying it for this episode. I almost feel like they put it in as like a necessity because I'm sure there's some high-end players out there that can beat this game and beat Wily's Castle and stuff without having to go back and restock on their 4 E-tanks between. I'm not one of them. Like every time I finish a Wily level, it takes you back to the title, like the level select screen, and I'm hitting select and going back to the shop and refilling my 4 E-tanks because I probably burned 3 of them in that Wily level. And I prefer that system to having to go into levels and fucking hike through to pick up a couple of E-tanks again.
Yeah, but I noticed one thing they did, and I did this. I played through the whole game, and the store is not very evident. It doesn't just like tell you.
No.
Like you have to like look in the manual. There's not like push select to access the store. Nothing. So I was good. Didn't use the store at all until I got to the Wily stuff. I loaded up on stuff. I had bolts, and I didn't use it again until the last boss.
Oh wow.
But you need to. No, you like need to though.
Yeah. Again, I'm sure there's speedrunners and high-end players out there. I consider myself a fairly competent Mega Man player. And we'll get into we're gonna take the break in a second, and then we'll get into the individual levels and Robot Masters. But dude, is it just me or like I don't find the 8 levels and the 8 Robot Master fights particularly. There's a couple of moments, but I don't find them particularly challenging. The difficulty spike when you get to Wily's Castle is fucking insane.
Yes, I had a few stages. That I was annoyed with, and at least 1 or 2 Robot Master fights that annoyed me. And I was like, this is a little more difficult than I remember, but it's not. Yeah, it's not like nothing crazy. You can stun lock several of the bosses with their weaknesses.
Yeah, and then you get into Wily's Fortress, and it's just all bets are off.
Yeah, pretty much.
You. So let's take a break here. We'll let a sponsor in here. They'll do their thing, and then when we get back, we'll work our way through the Robot Masters and get up to Wily and call this an episode. So we'll be right back after this message, if there is one. Okay, let's get it. Do you remember who you started with? In the first, because the first 4 Robot Masters, because again, it goes 4 and 4. The first 4 are Freeze Man, Junk Man, Burst Man, and Cloud Man. And I know who I started with. I'm just curious. Do you remember who you kicked the game off with?
This one I started with Freeze Man.
Really?
Yes.
Fascinating.
Normally, I think I go Cloud Man typically.
That's who I go with. Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I remember my role. Like the only 2 Mega Man games that I remember the order off the top of my head are 1 and 2. All the rest I need to do a little bit of guessing. But I always went to Cloud Man because he looks like whenever I play Mega Man X, I go with Chill Penguin first. There's something about the chunkier Robot Master that always makes them seem like the weakest one. And Cloud Man's this like fucking circular guy floating around in a cloud, and he doesn't look intimidating to me. I don't know.
He doesn't. I guess it's just like hunting mentality. Like that one, I could get that one the easiest.
Yeah,
because he can't run very far.
No, and I do find that Cloud Man fight pretty simple because all you have to do is like charge up your Buster when he's in the sky, and then when he comes down, jump over his lightning bolt and shoot him. Like I find that to be an incredibly simple fight. Freeze Man, who I actually think is one of the cooler looking Robot Masters in this one, because he looks like he's made of like crystals, not ice.
Yes.
Like he looks like a fucking like he robbed the jewelry store. I think he's one of the he actually gives me just a little bit of trouble. Freeze Man.
Yeah. You gotta time him when he's skating around, shoot him so he hops over you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got some timing to him.
And then like I don't know. Listen, I get that at this point we're 7 games in, and coming up with these Robot Masters is probably getting a little bit tougher. I'm not saying he's like the worst one, but like Junkman kind of, he looks like Buzz Lightyear covered in garbage. Like his face looks like Buzz Lightyear's, and he's covered in trash. And the only thing he really brings to the game is he's the one that every Mega Man game gives you one weapon that's like a shield. And he gives you that shield, but he kind of sucks.
This game has 2.
Oh yeah, because you get the fucking the fire.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah, what the fuck? I don't even hate the robot weapons in this game, but I think, yeah, you're right. You're right. Like Freeze Man is really handy because you get that ice thing you can shoot and you can direct it like Metal Man style.
Yeah.
Which is pretty handy. And then Cloud Man just gives you that electric. What's Cloud Man give you? Yeah, Cloud Man gives you the
ball of energy.
The electric ball of energy. Which the only thing I think that's cool about that, like all it does is shoots out in front of you. When it hits something, it goes up and down. But I like that you can use it to power up different things throughout the game.
Oh yeah, like in Junkman stage and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm a
Pretty cool.
huge fan of the robot master weapons interacting with the environment and stuff. I just think that's such a great touch. Junkman just gives you that fucking shield of garbage that fucking floats.
As he should.
Yeah, because he's made of junk. That's fine. And then
You
I don't
know-
know, Burst Man, like that fucking bubble weapon thing, fucking sucks.
I hate fighting him. Like, he was the one that gave me the most trouble, the original ones. Because when he shoots the bubble thing and he like encases you in it, I thought it was like you have to shoot, and I'm trying to use his weakness and it doesn't shoot fast enough, but it's just you just move. Like once I realized, like, oh, you just move a bunch, then it pops.
Yeah, because he's got the spikes up above him, and so
Yep.
he shoots these bubbles at you. And if a bubble catches you, then it tries to lift you up to the spikes. But yeah, like if you use, because I think his weakness is the freeze man one.
Yep, it is.
If you if you get good at it, like, and I wasn't for a while, but once you get good at it, you just jump over his 3 bubbles and then freeze him a couple of times, and it's like
Yep.
piece of cake. And that's what I was gonna say is I love the way it's one thing when you like, it's always satisfying when you're playing a Mega Man game and you hit a robot master with their weakness and see a giant portion of their health disappear. Like that makes you feel like a god. But I like it when they have an actual animation. Like when you hit Junkman with the electric burst in this and he looks like he's being electrocuted for a second. Or like Cloudman, when you hit him with the Burst Man bubble, he actually gets trapped in the bubble and it falls to the ground. That's awesome.
And those two guys you can actually stun lock. Like if you time
Yes.
just right, you can hit them and they will never hit you. I mean, well, Junkman will keep jumping back and forth, but you just shoot him, slide underneath, shoot him, slide, and then just never get hit.
Yeah. Which again is a very that's a pretty good feeling. Like when you get to a robot master and they don't touch you, you're just like, you bitch. Like it feels pretty fucking good. So those weapons are fine. The masters are fine. I really wish you picked all fucking 8 at once.
Yep.
But then once you beat those 4, then you get Spring Man, Slash Man, Shade Man, and Turbo Man. I already mentioned Turbo Man is a fucking race car. He's like, I think he looks kind of stupid when he's not in race car form, but then when he transforms into race car, I'm like, all right, fucking pretty badass.
Listen,
But
every time you mention him being a race car, I just think of, I sleep in a race car bed. Do you sleep in a race car bed?
But it's like it does look like a race car bed with a head on it. I hate his level more than I hate that fight. That fucking level where you're trying to dodge those fucking tires.
And that
Fucking
truck.
makes me angry. Yeah. Where
The
you're
truck,
on the
you gotta, like-
semi. Yeah, fuck.
You're trying to shoot its face, and it's just more and more missiles start coming at you. Like, what do I do?
And that aggravates me a little bit because I don't find the fight, like, I never die there. It's very easy to dodge the like projectiles he's shooting at you. It's just so fucking hard to hit him in the mouth because the projectiles are always in the way. So it just takes forever. It's just a very tedious fight. His whole level, in my opinion, is fucking tedious, frankly.
Yep.
Like I don't enjoy. He looks cool. I don't enjoy his level. You're right. I never even thought of the fact that you get a second. The only difference is, like, if I'm not mistaken, that fire shield like sticks for a second and then it kind of shoots out.
Yes.
As opposed to just floating around you. But it is kind of a half-assed weapon.
Turbo Man stage is just an analogy for real life car ownership. Costs a lot of money. It sucks, and you're not gonna like it.
No shit. Yeah, no shit. I think Shade Man is another one of, like, that's the fucking vampire.
Yes.
And that's a dope looking boss, man. Like,
yeah, he's good. He's
good.
And
his
stage is good too.
His stage is awesome, and his stage kind of looks like Super Ghouls and Ghosts off the top.
Mm-hmm.
You're like walking through and like all these graves are coming up out of the ground, and then these fucking like zombie mummy robots are coming out after you and stuff like that. I like his stage a lot. I love the music in his stage. I love fighting him because he kind of like flies down from the ceiling and then he keeps flying up above you. And he's actually, all you have to do is, if you get a little bit of practice in, he's pretty easy. But if you haven't practiced and you're not good at dashing, he'll fucking, like the power slide, he swoops down to catch you. And when he catches you, he takes away like a quarter of your health and replenishes his. And if he gets a hold of you a couple of times, it can get really frustrating really fast.
Yes.
But he looks fucking awesome though.
Oh, he's great. It's definitely top tier stage for me.
Mm-hmm. And I
Did
also
you do this?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No. I was to say, did you do the secret to do the alternate music?
No. What the
Did
fuck?
you know of this?
I don't think so.
When you select his stage, I can't remember. You hold like start or select, and it actually plays the Ghouls and Ghosts music.
Oh no shit, really?
No, dead serious, 100%.
Oh
Like
my
when it
god,
opens up, this da da da, and like the moon, like the moon's out or the clouds move out of the way.
that's
Great.
dope.
It's a cool reference to do like once or twice, but for me, Shade Man's music is like the best in the game. So I'm like, I'd rather listen to Shade Man's music.
I agree with that. Like, I'm almost positive I'll have played Shade Man's music in this episode because I love it so
Please.
much. But that is cool. I did not know that. I learned something today. That's fucking sick.
You just look it up. I
Um,
don't remember what button you have to hold, but it's a thing.
That's sick because I love Super Ghouls and Ghosts too. So that's fucking awesome. I also like his weapon because you get that like sound wave you shoot out. But what's
Oh, it's so
rad is
good.
you shoot the sound wave out and it'll ricochet off a wall, and if it comes back at you, then it charges it up, and then you shoot an even bigger sound wave, and it's pretty fucking badass.
We need more weapons that do that. This is like the only weapon in the entire franchise that does this. I'd like it to appear again.
Me too. I'm a big fan of like Mega Man X when you get the Buster upgrade and you get an upgraded version of all of your weapons.
Mhm.
And I don't expect them to do it in this one, but it's like, do you remember in which one was Pharaoh Man was 4, right? Pharaoh Man was
Yes.
Mega Man 4. Just the ability that you could charge up Pharaoh Man's shot, and I thought that was such a cool thing that you
It
could like
appears
charge
above
up
your head.
yeah, that you could use like a super version of their shot. And there's a couple in this one, like Shade Man, you can shoot that sound beam off, and then it comes back to you, and then you got a bigger one. And then
Yep.
once you beat Spring Man, you get those 2 spring spike things you shoot out either side, and you can charge it up and drop bigger springs.
Yep.
And I really like that, but that one makes me question, like, if you're gonna make one weapon where we can charge it up and make it stronger, why not all of them?
It's a great
Am
question.
I
I'm surprised there
asking
wasn't
too
like
much?
a
I don't know.
maybe. maybe I'm surprised there's not like an upgrade in the shop you can buy. Like charge your weapons.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because I like those charged up springs. I have to say, Springman functionally makes sense. He's a robot made mostly of springs, and all of his attacks involve jumping in the air and shooting his long, stretchy, springy arms at you. I get it, but I do think of the 8 robot masters in this game, except maybe even Junkman, I think Springman is the lamest one.
Yes.
Like, at the end of the day, he's a giant like Slinky. He's kind of
Yes.
and he's super easy. Like
Oh
super easy
yeah.
to fight.
If you have his weakness, I think you should have. He's another boss I think should have been like stun lockable, but there's just too many iframes between him like
Mhm.
bouncing up and throwing his fists
And then I gotta say, man, like Slash Man is a fucking awesome looking thing. Like, I don't know what the fuck he is, like a fucking fox or like like a wolf or something. I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
Great level where you're like back in Jurassic Park shit with all the robot dinosaurs, and I
Yep.
love the hidden stuff where Proto Man even says try using the flame in Slash Man stage, and you can like burn up the trees and find the hidden, like all that is great. I find his fight to be easily the hardest of the 8 robot masters.
Yes.
He fucks you up because even with his
He's
weakness,
brutal.
buddy. Even because I think his weakness is the Turbo Man fire. I think.
He's actually has 2.
What's his other one?
Ice.
Oh, that makes sense. I never tried
Yeah.
these because I just tried 4 and 4. I just figured the modern 4
So-
and the previous 4.
Oh no. So like when you hit him with I knew like when you hit him with the fire, like I never used the fire because if you hit him with the ice, he actually falls over on the ground and like slides around. Like you like literally freeze him
Oh,
solid and he
fuck.
just falls over. But it doesn't help. Like the fight's still a huge pain in the ass.
He's fucking tough because he like sticks to the walls and he jumps up like into the ceiling where you can't see him. And then I don't like. Are they like? What does he drop on you? Is it like dinosaur fetuses?
Maybe it's like cooked dino fetuses.
It's like red half eggs that are like gooey, and if they land on your
Ugh.
head, then you get covered in goo. I don't. But then while you're dodging those and maybe covered in one where you can't jump around and shit, he like creeps down the wall and then does his like dive attack at you. And like even when I'm using his weakness, I can't avoid getting hit by him.
He's so hard. Like I don't. He's a boss I rarely can dodge.
Yeah. Like I'm almost guaranteed I'm going to need an E-Tank to get past him. Like I just find
Yes.
him almost every Mega Man game has one boss that I find tougher than all the rest. And in this one, like Slash Man is the alpha male of the 8 robot masters.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
He'll fuck you up, but he is cool looking. I think he's awesome looking. So then once you beat all 8 of them, then you obviously unlock Wily's castle and you start going. And again, you can leave Wily's castle between levels to go stock up on supplies because it's not one of those ones where you can carry infinite E-Tanks. You have 4. And so I found myself between most levels going back it up and buying up more E-tanks. A couple of the mid scene, like the mid bosses are kind of cool. Like the Gutsman tank is
Yep,
kind
yep.
of like a cool, like nut throwaway boss. You have that big fight where you fight Bass and Treble again, where they combine like Mega Man and Rush do. And I don't find that fight particularly hard because Bass follows one pattern. And once you learn it, it's hard until you learn the pattern.
Yep.
And then you just dodge, rinse, repeat. But I will say, again, I think, while I don't love that character, they do look cool. And they look really cool when they fucking combine. It's pretty
Yes.
awesome.
I like him. I like his appearance in 8 when he combines because it's like that same thing, but like turned up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got a great design. It should be fucking Proto Man, but he's got a great fucking design. I'll give him that.
I concur.
Then you get to the part where you have to do the 8 robot masters again. And again, I don't know, like I just, even the levels, I maybe I just suck, but I didn't have too much trouble with the 8 levels of the robot masters. The levels in Wily's castle gave me a lot of problems. I just found there to be there's always a little bit of a difficulty spike when you get to Wily, but I found it to be a substantial spike in this game. I don't know.
They were a bit tougher for sure. I will tell you, except for the ones you mentioned, I don't remember like any of the bosses. I guess there was a turtle.
Yeah, there's
There was the turtle thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Quickly, shout out to the giant jack-o'-lantern you fight in Shade Man's level 2.
Yeah.
That thing's
It's fucking
awesome.
dope.
Yeah, it opens up.
Yeah, and if depending on how you kill it, it blows up on different sides. It gives you a different path.
Yeah. It's that's
sweet.
a cool fucking fight. Yeah. But I agree. The mid bosses are kind of like, yeah, whatever. Gutsman is kind of neat to see Gutsman again. It's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to the part where you have to fight the 8 robot masters, and this is nitpicking, like the definition of nitpicking. You can fight the 8 because in every Mega Man game you have to refight the masters, and it's fine that you get to pick the order you want to fight them in. Call me old fashioned. I love going into one room with 8 teleporters around. I don't like the fact that it's 2, 2, 2, 2 on an elevator and you have to go up and down. I know it's nitpicking, but like I busted my ass to get here. Give me my room of 8 teleporters.
If you're gonna do this is how I see it. Either do it Mega Man 1 style and Mega Man X style, where the bosses just like you'll get like 2 bosses just randomly in a stage, and then the end boss at the end, or do the teleport room.
Yeah. I get a sense of accomplishment in the teleport room where every time you beat one of them, you come back to the main room and the teleporter's shut down and you're like, okay, 7 to go, like 6 to go. And I know it does that here because every time you kill one, the teleporter shutters, but it's just not the same when you can only see 2 of them at a time and then you have to go on an elevator and ride down to the next 2. Just,
yeah, I agree.
It's missing some magic. I don't know. Also, as I already said earlier, if you're going to go as far as to show us the Robot Museum and show us some of the classic villains like Under Glass in there, instead of a couple of like mediocre mid boss fights and stuff, it would have been cool to fight a couple classics.
Yeah, like, the closest. Good.
No, that's the whole point. Is I would have liked, like, give me, like, I would have lost my fucking mind if I got to the end of a level and Cutman was waiting for me. Like, I would have lost my mind.
The closest I know we got to that, and I hate that we keep referencing this, but Mega Man 8 on the Sega Saturn, you could fight Woodman and Cutman.
See, and like, why not give us more of that? Like, you own all these Robot Masters. Like, if you're not a fan of the series, because here's the thing: if you didn't play the old NES ones, first of all, seeing those Robot Masters in the background of the museum mean nothing. Like, those are for fans of the franchise, right? And it doesn't matter to you whether, let's say, you fight Snake Man or you fight Jack-o'-lantern guy. It doesn't, like, you don't care if you don't know, but if you do know, how fucking sick would it be to watch, like, to walk and run into a room and have fucking Snake Man waiting for you, or you know, Pharaoh Man or whomever. Like,
that'd be sweet,
right? Like, it would have made me happy. That's all. So, like,
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, these are my nitpicks, just little things like that. But you get through the 8 of them, then you have to fight Wily, and it always
immediately
afterwards. And the first form of him, I really don't find that hard. When he's in like he's like the skull with the 2 big feet walking towards you, and you have to slide under him and shoot him. It is a long fight. Yeah.
Well, like mainly my issue is like I can get the fight down pretty quick. It's his intro. It's just him blah 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 blah, like walking in. I was like, just come on, dude, let's get with it. Yeah, especially when you've died 80 times already. You're like, come on, dude.
I agree. But I don't find that fight particularly hard. But then he gets to his second form where he's flying around in his fucking, and that has kind of become a staple of the Mega Man. He's in his little UFO thing, and the room goes dark, and then he kind of appears in the dark, and you have a couple seconds to shoot him while he fucking shoots his whatever weapon at you. And this is the fight where I have to say, dude, maybe I just suck at video games. This fight gives me a lot of fucking trouble. Those orbs he throws at you, I find incredibly difficult to dodge.
I have heard that when they were designing this game, Keiji Inafune, that guy, he specifically said something about making this last boss fight obscenely hard.
I've never watched somebody speedrun Mega Man 7, and I'm fully aware that there are people out there that could probably just make this game their bitch. But like that fight gives me, especially because like if he doesn't come down into an area where you can hit him, you can't fucking hit him at all. So then you just have to dodge those and those balls have like elements to them. There's like blue, red, and yellow, and it's the fucking. I always get hit by the fucking red one and get lit on fire and get stuck there for like 3 seconds.
I hate that. Either or you'll get frozen, and then he'll do the lightning attack too, and he'll hit you with both. Like, you ass.
And again, like when you go into it, you know, even if you've had to cash in a couple of E-tanks, hopefully you still, because it does the thing, which I appreciate. Whenever you beat a robot master, they drop a big health replenishment item, which is nice. And so if you have 4 E-tanks going in there, even if you needed to burn 1 or 2 during the robot masters, once you've got it down, you should be able to get through the fight against him where he's in his little skull walker without taking too much damage.
No, it's pretty easy.
You're going to need a couple of those E-tanks in that final fight. But if you've still got a couple of E-tanks, plus you can buy an S-tank to bring in, plus this game is really generous. Its weapon tanks fill all your weapons.
Oh, okay.
Like when you use it, you don't have to pick a weapon to use. You use one and it fills everything, which makes it a lot easier to experiment and figure out what weapon to use on them, because you don't have to worry about like, you're like, fuck, 6 of my weapons are almost empty and I only have 4 weapon tanks. So I hope that I refill one of the 4 that's his weakness. Use one and it fills everything. So
that's handy.
If you've got a couple of E-tanks and an S-tank, once you figure out, and I'm trying to remember, I think it's the electric shot in its final form, I think.
Well, actually, he's got a couple, but it's actually charged spring.
Oh, is that right? I never used charged spring.
So you said earlier that you can't hit him when he gets too high. So here's something I never knew this. So if you use the charged spring, right, and you throw it, like you shoot it, if you hold up after you shoot it, it will bounce high enough to hit him.
Oh, fuck.
I didn't know that either.
Well, I'm learning something today. Jesus. I did not know that. I'll have to try that because I have like a save at that fight. I'll have to try that because I always just try to, I want to say that it was was it? I want to say it was electric that I shot him with. I think so.
It works.
I never
so does the
tried
power
that.
fist too. Like the charged super adapter fist does too, but then you can't slide.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks.
Oh, buddy, how anybody dodges those fucking orbs without sliding? I have no fucking idea.
God. I just jump into a yellow one. If I can see a yellow one, I'm jumping into it.
Yeah.
Take
the zap. Yeah. But it's brutal. And then once you destroy him, then he fucking drops and then you do the thing where you fight him and then that's all it. Or he gets away and he's like, I'll be back again, which is classic Mega Man.
Twirls mustache.
Yeah. I have to say just too, minor thing, but like, I know we've already talked about the sprites and everything in this game. Like, I love the Wily sprite in this game too.
Yeah, it's good.
Like, they have like a little bit of shade on his mustache. Like, Wily, I'm biased as a Mega Man fan, but just from a physical appearance, Wily really is a great villain. Like, he looks like the classic cartoon villain. Like,
he does.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Titular mad scientist.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I can't the music's good. We already said that. I'll have played some of it. I'll play some more. Shade Man, best track in the game, in my opinion.
Any other ones you like?
I really do like all of them. I like Slash Man's quite a bit too.
Oh yeah.
I will say I didn't love going back to his level. I didn't love Turbo Man's theme.
No, it's okay.
It feels a little childish. That whole level, like, it's a tough level, but the whole level feels kind of childish. Like, there's stoplights everywhere. Did you ever, when you were a kid, did you have that fucking giant placemat with all the roads on it and you'd push? Like,
yes.
Yeah, we all did, right? That level kind of feels like that placemat as a Mega Man level.
Yep, I agree.
Just kind of, yeah.
Another one that I was actually like, I think is a really underrated song is the first Wily song.
Yes.
I think it's actually really good. Most people like overlook it. I'm like, I mean, it's not Mega Man 2 Wily Stage 1, but it's a pretty damn good song.
I mean, it delivers like every Mega Man, right? Like, even a bad Mega Man song is better than 3/4 of Mega Man soundtracks out there.
That's true. That's true.
They're really good. The one other thing I had down in my notes was just, it's cool that you get Rush. You start a game with Rush Coil, and it's cool that you get Rush Jet, and it's cool you get the Rush adapter from Mega Man 6. But you also get Rush Search, where you can like call them down to look for things in the ground. And it's great in theory. It's cool that you can use them to like look for items in the ground and dig out. But like after the third or fourth time that you call him down and have to watch the 5-second animation of him sniffing and digging, and then he digs up like an apple core or something, I was like, I'm not using this anymore.
So, I agree. I'm glad you brought this up. I almost forgot. I never use this ability. You know, I just, whatever, you get it and it's useless, but you get it for completion. So I found out that some of the big items you could buy in the shop, you can actually find in the level with Rush Search.
Yeah, I found that out after I finished this playthrough. I was reading about stuff and was like, oh, that makes sense. But again, though, it's such a fucking job to like find them.
Yeah, how are you going to know? Like without a guide, you wouldn't know.
I guess like when you were, I guess it's one of those things where like if you were a kid and this was one of the 5 games you had, you're like, I am going to search this entire fucking game with Rush Search. But as like as someone that's like, I got to get this game done to record it this weekend, I was like, I love you, Rush, and I will use Rush Coil and Jet every chance I get. I have no interest in fucking watching you dig for garbage for this entire fucking game.
Almost entirely useless.
Yeah. Almost as useless as Rush Marine usually is. Because like the number of games that we get Rush Marine and then you never need it. Like,
no, there's like one level in a Wily castle. Guys, there's water. You probably should use this. Like, okay.
Yeah. And that was another thing. This one didn't have a lot of underwater. Like it feels like in most Mega Man games, you've got that whole level where you're underwater doing the high jumps and trying not to hit the spikes. This one like has moments where it dabbles, but it didn't feel like, it really didn't have that whole level this time.
Yeah, it never dawned on me until you said that.
Me neither.
It's weird.
Just now. And as much as I hate swimming levels, I actually like those levels, and because I love the way he jumps underwater, like the way he goes all the way up. Like same as like I wish it had a space level too, because I like those types of levels where you get that air underneath you.
Not enough space levels. If you don't have water, you got to have that at least.
At least one, yeah. But it was good. It was fine. It's I really do feel like this is an underrated game because again, I think at the end of the day, I think there was a small percentage of Mega Man fans that were just sick of the regular formula. I think the much bigger thing was just that it, unfortunately, it was, is, and will forever be in the shadow of Mega Man X. And
that's what people wanted, and they just didn't get what they expected out of it. They got Mega Man, which is what it is. So
yeah. And I will say, listen, if you're like, hey, Adam, I've never played Mega Man. Anytime someone writes in the show and it's like, I've never played Mega Man, where should I start? I always say either Mega Man 2 or Mega Man X.
Yep.
And if you're asking me right now, my definitive answer is Mega Man X. If you insist on playing a core game, play Mega Man 2. But I think it's not as good as Mega Man X. And if I could only own one Super Nintendo Mega Man game, it's going to be Mega Man X. But I do feel 7 gets slept on. I think it is the most underrated of the core Mega Man games.
I think it's probably, because I have affinity for some of those, I think it's at least better than 6. And 6 isn't terrible. I think 6 gets overlooked a good amount because of where its placement in the timeline, but or when it came out, but because it was like Super Nintendo was already out, and you're like, oh, there's Mega Man 6.
Yeah, I think it's better than 6. I think it's better than 8 because I fucking hate 8. As much as I love Mega Man 1, like Mega Man 7 is a better game than Mega Man 1.
Oh yeah, Mega Man 1's it's a little rough, but is what it is.
Yeah, 1's like if you've never played a Mega Man, don't start with 1 because 1 is pretty unforgiving. It's they weren't sure what they were gonna do yet. But I recommend it. Like if you're out there, like dude, for all of you people out there that have bought Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 but haven't bought Mega Man Legacy Collection 2, Legacy Collection 2, wait for a sale. But Legacy Collection 2 is worth your money because Mega Man 9 is awesome. Mega Man 10 is good, and Mega Man 7 is a solid fucking game. Mega Man 8 sucks, but 7 is a solid fucking game.
I just love all this. Dude, if you ever cover 8, please let me know. Like I will 100% be down for that. Because there is a good way. There's a good way to play it. There's actually a ROM hack of the game, but it's Mega Man 8, but it's done like it was done on the original Nintendo. It's a way better fucking game. That
would be sick. I want to listen before, because usually when I dump on 8, someone will write in standing up for. I wanted to say like I like Mega Man 8. It's Mega Man. I like it. It's fine. It's just I don't love the art style. I think that soccer ball he can kick around thing is fucking stupid. I hate the voice acting in it. It is my least favorite. Like when you listen, if you're ranking 11 games in a series, one of them's got to be last.
Yeah, 100%.
right? So 8's just last, but it's still better than a lot of other games. We got to score this thing.
Can I throw something in real quick before we
Please
end
do.
this? Real quick?
Please do.
I wanted to say one one little thing here. You played this on your collection, correct?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So I played this on an original Japanese cart.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was an interesting experience because I didn't have state saves. You know that last boss. I
Yes.
completely forgot about how hard it was until I got to it. I was like, "This is this one." But anyway, did you know there's like a secret fighting mode in this game?
I read that after I've never been in it, but it was one of those things I read when I looked up stuff I missed after I was done playing it.
So, like a long time ago, like we rented this, my brother and I, when we were kids, a couple times. One of the times we rented it, I found this in a magazine, and I tried it one time. It's like Mega Man versus Base, and you could do like fighting game inputs. Apparently, I only did it like once or twice because nobody played Mega Man with me. So
Sure.
that was it. Like that was the little like, hey, what about this?
It was a cool little thing. I remember, did you ever, I had the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game for the Super Nintendo when I was a kid. And there was something you could do in that too, where you could access this like really shitty fight where you played as Megazord. And then I can't remember who the villain was, but my brother and I would play it once in a while. Like we'd have one fight and be like, well, that was fun. Like, cause it
Yeah,
really wasn't a deep fighter, but
yeah.
I like when they put those little things in games. I like that.
It, it's nice. It's nice when they go above and beyond, and it's not like nowadays where they charge you for everything. So
Yeah. Dude, if they did that today, that would be DLC.
100%.
Yeah, 100 billion fucking percent. Dude, I just uh, how have we not gotten like how are Mega Man fighting games not I mean, I guess it's cuz Capcom's got Street Fighter to worry about, which is kind of a bigger deal. But like imagine a Mega Man fighting game where they just go back and get all the different robot masters and you could pick any of them and like fight with them and stuff. Like I don't know. Wouldn't that be, I don't know.
I know.
Maybe they're like, it wouldn't be worth the money to develop something
Pro-
like that.
Probably. I know we got the couple arcade games, the Power Fighters, which are
Yeah.
not quite the same thing. But then I guess the closest we got was there's that fan project, Mega Man Arena,
Oh, I don't
where
know
you could just
that.
like play. You could play like any robot master against any other robot master, and there's like a co-op mode where you can go through stages. Like you could play like Metal Man through, I don't know, Strike Man stage and Mega Man 10.
That's pretty dope. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
yeah. It's just I've never played it. I've only heard about it.
like. I guess I have envisioned in my head like a Smash Brothers style game,
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
but
I'd buy
like
that.
all the different robot masters and but like I don't know. It's realistically
It's
like
ne-
no, like it's dude. We can't even get them to fucking make another Mega Man game for fuck's sake.
no,
Much
it's
less
never gonna happen.
a Mega Man fighting game. So before we score it, I'll ask you that like, do we ever get Mega Man 12?
Maybe. I mean, it took forever to get 11. I think
I
in like
know.
due time, maybe. But I don't know. Everybody's just gonna bitch on which one we get. Like, I'm fine with whatever way. It doesn't have to be a retro style game. We kind of already did that. But I mean,
Agreed.
but either way, I'm
Man,
good
Mega
with
Man
it. Like,
11 was awesome. That was a good fucking game.
I want Mega Man X9.
Me too.
Like, I want that, but like do the retro for that because we haven't got that yet.
Agreed. You know what I wish? Like, I get that Capcom's busy with Monster Hunter and Resident Evil and Street Fighter, and Mega Man is probably small potatoes compared to them. I get that, but like, there are so many talented indie studios out there that would just have a fucking field day with Mega Man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I really wish they would just. I know that it's not your biggest selling IP, but he's got a fan. He's in Smash Brothers, man. Nobody from fucking Resident Evil's in Smash. Like, fucking Mega Man's a big deal. I really wish they would just show him a little bit more love. Instead
an
of just keep
evergreen
selling us
title, man.
collections of his old fucking games again and again and again. Because I'll keep
Can't wait for
buying
that
them.
next collection. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Adam, part of the problem, blank. I'll keep fucking buying them, but like,
Dude, I'm right there with you.
fucking give us a Mega Man soccer remake or some shit. Anyway.
Oh, dude, please. I
That'd be
want
sick.
Mega Man football, like Mutant League football,
That'd
but
be
it's
sick.
Mega Man.
Yeah, and he could like put like Mega Man's the QB and he could put the football in like his blaster and fucking let her go. That'd be sick.
That'd be so good.
Yeah, I like
You find out they mess up when they fuck the game up when they create it, and it's all Canadian rules football.
No,
just
don't.
kidding. Just kidding.
God, no. Don't wish that. Okay, we got to score this thing. I mean, I don't know. I was going to say out of 8 because there's 8 Robot Masters, but let's go. There's 11 mainline Mega Man games. So let's go out of 11. Let's do that. Guests honors. What score do you give
Oh,
Mega
fuck.
Man 7?
I'm gonna pad this out a sec because I was trying to think. I was like, could we not just name it like out of like the giant auto nut? So it's just one nut out of. No, anyway. So no, I don't know. Like, I think it's a pretty good game. I'd say like 7 out of 11. I think it's a pretty competent, overlooked title.
Yeah, I agree. I was kicking a 9 around, but I was like, there are Mega Man games that I think do this better than this. Like Mega Man X is this exponentially better game than this. So
So good.
I'll give it an 8 out of 11 because I can't sit here and pump its tires and be like it's underrated and then give it like it's good. It's a very competent Mega Man game that I think anyone that likes the NES ones would probably like this one.
It at least try to do some stuff different too.
Yeah.
So
And the art style is great. The music's great. I really mean it. Wait for a sale. But the next time it's on sale for like pennies on the dollar, scoop Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 up and frankly give all 4 of them a playthrough, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
Definitely play 7 and 9. And
yes,
then 10,
yes.
And 10 and 8 if you have time. 9 is, God, I love Mega Man 9.
It's so good, dude.
Oh, it's
so
hard.
Good.
That one will fuck you up too, though. I think that's one of the hardest ones. That one is fucking tough.
But that feels a little fair. It's not like this game where it's like, yeah, it gets tough at the castle, then final boss, like bend over bitches. Like, it at least kind of feel like it warms you up to it a little bit more.
Agreed. Yeah, Wily's fucking cheap in this one. It's fucking horrible.
Oh, it's awful.
Buddy, we took too long to do this. I appreciate you coming on the show. And I know you also are known to podcast away from RTG. So assuming you remember to send me links to put in the description, they'll be there. What else are you up to these days?
I'll try to remember. I'm actually I am on a podcast called Dissect That Film. We don't really review films. We dissect them and have a conversation about them. And I tend to make really inappropriate comments in the background while my wife and my co-host Parker do all the professional stuff. And it's Dissect That Film. It's on all major podcasting apps. And on social media, it's pretty much all of them. It's either Dissect That Film or Dissect That Film Pod. And then I also have another project I recently started where I did a short-ish form Magic the Gathering podcast. It's not very good, but it's there. And it's called Manawurm. So MANAWURM. So you can find that. I'm on X or Twitter at Manawurm Pod, and email manawurmpod@gmail.com. And then that is on Spotify because I don't have it anywhere else yet. So that's what I do.
Check them out. Again, if you remember to send me links, most of my guests do. They'll be in the description of the podcast. Go check them out. I actually, a few people over the years have asked me to review the original Ninja Turtles movie. Look for the episode of Dissect That Film because that was, I made my movie podcast debut over there. We talked OG TMNT.
And Ghostbusters too.
That's right. Oh, wait. Yeah, that was what we did. Did we do both or did we do?
We did both. We did both. I don't remember which was first, but I've done
a lot of podcasts. But yes, yeah. So go find them. And then that way, because everyone's like, dude, you're going to review it. I appreciate the offer. I don't know enough about movies to do it on my own. I need competent movie people to carry me through a movie show. So, buddy, great doing this. Thanks so much for spending a little bit of your Saturday with me. That was a good time.
Thanks for finally asking me. Now I know what it's like to be at the big time, dude.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, the big time. The big time. Jesus Christ.
Dude, I've been sucking your dick for years to get here, man. It finally paid off.
I'm going to leave all this in. This is the worst ending to a show ever. I like it. Thanks, buddy.
Well, I'm glad I was part of it.
That is going to do it for this week's episode. Dan, thank you so much for taking time out of your Saturday to talk a little bit of Mega Man 7 with me. Appreciate you coming on the show. And every single one of you nerds listening to this, thank you so much for taking a chance on us. I know there's a lot of retro gaming shows out there, and that you rolled the dice on ours, so that warms my heart. Check out Dan's shows. You can find links to both of them in the description of this podcast. I have been a guest on Dissect That Film, so if you want to hear me talk old movies, I'm not very good at it, but I fumbled my way through over there. And Dan will definitely get you back on the show. I got to thank some patrons, and then I think I am going to get out of here. for the day. Probably won't be a Remember the Game next week. We are sticking with the theme of taking the first Wednesday of the month off. Gives me a lot more time to catch up on games for the show and everything. But my plans in March are to cover Wild Arms and XCOM 2, and then I'm not sure what else will get in there. Maybe whatever wins our Patreon poll tournament extravaganza. That'll be wrapping up this Friday. If you don't know, we run a giant 64-game tournament all throughout March. And the listeners vote, and the last game standing gets an episode of the show. Last year, Beautiful Joe won our inaugural Pre-March Madness Patreon poll tournament extravaganza. And as I'm recording this, we're down to 6 games. One of the semifinals is set, and it's Infamous versus Max Payne. And then on the other side, we've got Okami and Rayman Legends, and Burnout Paradise and Little Big Planet going at it for the other 2 spots in the semis. So if whatever wins isn't too long, maybe that'll get an episode. Otherwise, you're definitely getting Wild Arms in March. You're hopefully getting XCOM 2, and then maybe something short just to buy me a little bit of time. I'm thanking some patrons to get out of here. Thanking all of you right now. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Talk to you on the next one. Leave us a nice review if you would, please. Oh, yeah, don't forget to check out our subreddit. I wanted to hit 1,000 members, and ever since I plugged it, we've grown by like 150. So I think we're only about 100 short of a grand now. So get over there. Remember the Game on Reddit. Come find us and talk about episodes and whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Okay, thank you some Patrons. I'm leaving. Appreciate all of you. Catch you later. Cheers. Remember the Game is brought to you by our Patrons. I couldn't puke up all the content I churn out every week without all of your support. The following people are at the senior executive vice president level or higher at patreon.com/rememberthegame, and as such, I am contractually obligated to say all their names as quickly as I can. So in reverse, from newest to oldest, let's go that this week. A huge thank you to Remember the Game Hall of Famer, Slick Motherfucking Rick, Trooper Galactus, Shane's World, Mikey Hag, Botfucker, Fancy Store-Bought Dirt, Game Boy Ganon, Horrorstalgia, a podcast, Akiris Network, Jinxie425, Legendberry, Thunder Leaps, Rest in Peace Koopalings, Doogie Bowser MD, Captain Asbury Juice, Zen Paladin, Flater Flav, Lord Salazar, Travis Sanders, MacGyver88, Combo Chuck, Savage Boosh, Super Saiyan Safarioth, Desiraith, Wreck-It Ralpy, Cornbread, Shank the Rat-Faced Bastard, Adam's former assistant, Captain Steve N, Super Jess, VOS Rager, Wilco, McCracken, Justin Blair, Diablo Spartan, Moncal, David Schroeder, Cheatsy Koopa, Darbles, Eric Hopewell, S, Spider-Cat, Alex McIntyre, Scotty McGee, Toby OP, nothing could possibly go wrong, Daddy Secret Little Chubby, Ryan Whitcomb, Ida Yellow, Big Daddy Randall, Mr. Jabroni, Ace McGuy, Elephant Cast, Chaz Hammond, Put It in Age, Kevin Kellums, Cody Thompson, Liquor Like Luigi, Fill Up My Mouth with Farts, Cesar, Plow King, Too Much Karma, Matt Zeus, Bula, Blobby Rogers, Brian Richmond, Sabin, Robbie Eric, Jay Callahan, Adam Blank still hasn't reviewed Mario Galaxy, Tornado, Shoeboxers, Mark Sneed, E-Man Trucker, Fill Up My Mouth with Empty Poos, The Supreme, Chozo Rizzo, Fallen Snow Kiku, Penguin Milk, B Money, Chris Hill isn't scared, that can be anyone's ass, Carbon Fiber Zombie, Benjamin Atkins, Faded Sufferance, Alex Ramos, Sour Goatface, Max Sandin, Frosty Bear, Lucas Shaman, Roger Staubach, Pool Cleaner, Lord Long Robon, Hugendom II, Marcus Mendoza, Infini Rage, Because 19, Beers of War, Lord Palmerston, Leroy Jenkins, Nordak, Pee Wee Squitters, Can't Destroy Her, Kevin Monroe, Ryan Donahue, The Big Deal, Adam Arnett, Nick Creature, Postman, Darth Skywalter, Rated Excellent, Just Car Pranks, Please Refrain from Tasting the Knob, Itchy Nutsuru, Alex R, Ryan Perry, Ted Explosion, Works for Me, AB Killin, Monstrous D Boner, Kia Pup, Ben and Zeba, X Maverick X, T-Bear 87, Tadpole, Big the Cat, Zamatos, Christopher Britt, Quiet Place Queen, Hitchy Poo, Beef Dingleberry, My Left Nut, Timothy Sabrinsky, Graham Kennedy, Musty Beetle, Maverick Marty, Christian Gabriel, Wimp 15, Timmy the Exuberant Turtle, Isaiah, Squeak Nuts, Sleeper Hit, Nerdy Hybrid, Donnie the Dude Walter, Sam Carpenter, Drugs are bad, okay, John of the Adult Children Podcast, James Will Francesco, Max Lagroom, I uncancel my Netflix to watch wrestling, General Fury, Cody Richardson, Oroku Saki's Gardener, Jimothy, High Plains Drifter, Hagel Waffle, Earl, Archangel Otaku, Storm Beagle, Scary Terry, Blaine the Hoagie Man, Wyatt the Surgeon Who's Not a Surgeon Row, a dude named Adam, Decoy Man, Fuzzy99, Gabe, Matt Babineau, Stud Still Smash, Rush's Dog Walker, Leroy Westrich, Thomas Smith, Beaver Boy, Growly Wog, Laces Out Dan, Jake Carter, Joe the Sandman, Phil Lencher, Tyler, Juris Dr. Mario, Mizuru, Dude Where's My Game, Standard Ass Brian, Steve Dalk, Jameer Williams, DBXJ, Madam Nutsitch, Elijah Burns, Chugger22, Triple, Zach Shepard, Holmes, Methuselah, France, Just a Fish, Randy Barrage, John Woodruff, Daniel, Jeff Bergeron, Zonko 504, Titan 420, Dean Donian, Squints, Johnny from Virginia, Wolf Magic 21, Doogie, Andy Hudson, Wolfgang, Darren, Mercury 869, G9PSX, Mike Maloney, Ryan Kinchin, Zane Donovan, Morgan, A-Town, JSK Fusick, Aaron Lawson, Scott Brooks, No One Cares, Dave Thompson, Angry Ticks, Lil Bunny Fufu 89, Kurt Rambis is the GOAT, Jordan, Andrew Wright, Chris Fleury, Doug Dorn, Dan, Dissect That Film. I like Jorts, they're comfy and easy to wear. J Nasty 15, Sharonic, Joe Buck, and Makeshift Mallow Magic Money. Oh, not bad. Not good. Not bad. Take it easy. Oh, yeah, leave us a good review. Or don't. It's your choice. Thank you. Bye.